All right, so here's that part 2, literally a few seconds later. So let's talk, now that I've given you contact information and justified my absence for part of the summer, let's talk about book stuff, because that's what you're going to want to know about first. Okay, whoops, excuse me a second. Here's the official textbook information right there. This is the 5th edition by Jeff Madura. It's a Pearson textbook. We're going to be using Pearson products. Then you see some contact information there about My Finance Lab. That's the online website that we're going to use. All right. We're not using e-learning. We're not going through e-learning. I have the syllabus up there on e-learning, but everything we're going to do in our class is going to be through Pearson's site, because that's where the quiz and homework stuff is all automatically done. And so I've used the Pearson site to post all of our course material. That's the portal where I'll be emailing you through, everything like that. So you're going to have to buy a subscription to the online website called My Finance Lab. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second. Since I'm at home here, of course, since we'll walk you around. That's my Great Dane right there. Well, our Great Dane, my fiance's. Hey, Sam. Hey, buddy. He's really excited to see y'all. All right. He's not exactly very active. One good thing about Great Danes, they're very sweet and they're very lazy. So you don't have to worry much about it. Hey, buddy. All right, enough of that. So here's the book. This is what the front looks like. It's obviously the fifth edition, right? Picked up on that. So Jeff Madura's Personal Finance. There's a very good chance that you will not have this kind of book, because you'll probably get a cheaper kind of 3-hole punch version, an online version. That's what I got some more notes about here in the syllabus. So back to the syllabus. Hooray. All right. 5th edition, that's the ISBN information on the back, just so you make sure that you got the right thing. And then read all this stuff about the book. I honestly think your best bet here is going to be going through the bookstore, because they'll give you that 3-hole punch version and access a code to show that you've paid. The code will be, and I say access code here, I guess right there. I say access code in my syllabus. That's just your receipt and lets them know that you've paid already. You'll get that and the 3-hole punch version for around $100. You can go directly online and buy it through Pearson as well, but especially if you have a physical presence in the Pensacola area, you're probably better off going just through the bookstore. It's a fair price. They actually negotiated good terms with that and get the whole thing done. Now, you won't be able to sell it back for anything. It's a 3-hole punch, so it's kind of like a use it and chuck it thing. But I figure since they take such a big cut off, they give you such a reduced price on buyback anyway, lowering the upfront cost on the way out the door is probably not a bad thing. There are other options. Maybe you can get a secondhand version online somewhere if you use this ISBN number. Maybe if you want to use the 4th edition and you come across it, it's almost the same. There are a few changes in the text. Most of the problems do match up exactly with the 4th edition. So if you just go by the problem number when we're talking about homework exercises in the book, it'll be almost identical, but you should probably double check case by case just to be sure. Now, of course, along with the 3-hole punch version, when you buy access to the website, you'll get an online version of the book as well. So, that's a good way to check. And if you're cool with online books, I think it's a good deal. A lot of us still kind of like to touch the paper and stuff like that, and I'm kind of that way, so I understand. Anyway. Again, I said I'd pick it up a little bit, but one thing you'll learn about me, some of you have had me already for different classes, and if so, you've already figured out that I am long-winded, and that's just part of my charm. So, okay, I'm at my regular web browser here, and I type in My Finance Lab. If you type in myfinancelab.com, see, there it is, myfinancelab.com, and I think you saw my reference to my Adam and Drew. I like Adam Carolla in Dr. Drew. If you type in myfinancelab.com, you'll get this as the starting site, something like this. It might be a different color, but this is it. If you do register over here as a student, then you'll get to set up a trial account without even paying at first and get started. Now, most of you will probably have bought the book and have the access code, so when you register, you'll be able to pay. And that's good. That means you'll be able to get all set up and ready to go without doing any kind of trial thing. You can just do everything at once. That'd be nice. But some of you, if worse comes to worse, you can get on here and set up a trial account to start with. When you do that, the access code that I talked about a minute ago is your proof of purchase, and you'll put that in to kind of give yourself permanent access throughout the summer. But that's not our course ID. Our course ID is my last name, all lowercase. I don't know if that matters. Krieger. And it is Krieger. It's not Krieger or Krieger, but I don't care. I've gotten them all over the years, believe me. But it is Krieger 79965. No spaces, no nothing. My last name, 79965. If you type that in, that is our course ID. Because when you go in here, you're going to want your access code would be your proof of purchase if you've already bought a book and got a code, and then you'll be done with having to worry about that. Otherwise, it will expire in a few weeks. But the other thing you'll have is our course ID. That's so that you get in my class. Because otherwise, every Pearson finance book goes through this website. Well, how the heck would they know what you're signing up for unless you had a reference code for my class? Well, that Krieger 79965 is our reference code. Now, I hit sign in, and I'm prompted with this. If you've bought, somehow, maybe some of you have had Pearson subscriptions before. And if I got to put this down for a second. And if that's the case, then you might not need to create an account. Most of you will, but some of you perhaps have had Pearson accounts before, and then you could just sign in, and you would then use that Krieger 79965 as your ID to get in. So I'm going to click. I have all these old classes in here, but you won't. So on my left side, I have all these old classes. You will have this link once you put in the course ID code. You'll have this kind of link. And it says Personal Finance 3140 Summer 2013 Dr. Krieger. Click on that. This is the opening screen. This is what it will look like when you come into our class. Okay, this first week. Now I'm taping this on Monday what's today? The 6th? Yeah. Taping this on Monday the 6th. It'll be a week later so you can see the calendar at the top. It'll have our book. Now, all this stuff here with the computer screens that are slashed out, that means those are sections that you can't see. Because I've got the version here for the instructor, so you won't see it quite like this, but all the relevant parts, of course, you will. So all this is not part of your thing. This stuff all up here is. The very top tab is the book, and if you're fine with reading the book online and referencing the book online to find the homework problems that I talk about, then there you go. You can use that link. The rest of this down here is course content. That's going to be probably the most important tab of all because that's where I'm going to post my lectures each week. I have PowerPoint slides that I've personalized, and they have my voice over just like this. And yes, it's long-winded, but that's the meat and potatoes of our class. Right? I'll also put YouTube links towards example problems and stuff like that in our course content page. The course content page will be broken up by chapter. Right now, and again, we're a week before class, right now I've got overall course items and chapter 2. Overall course items, if you go in here, that's where the syllabus is. Now, I know it's a catch-22 with the syllabus because you wouldn't have, there's a good chance you wouldn't have seen this yet unless you've already got your hands on the syllabus, but hey, I'm posting these links there on e-learning. Last time I'll do that, as well as I will post these links once they're done in this tab. And again, catch-22 because right now you're listening to this and I can't post it, of course, until I've filmed it. Chapter 2, there's nothing in here yet, but there will be when you get started next week. Assignments. This will be really important. Do homework, take a quiz and test. You'll have bunches of these all summer long. You'll see. You'll see. Results. This will be where your grades are. Communication, grade book-like thing here, which you'll see eventually. Communication tools. This is one way to get to me, although if you use your e-learning link to me, again, I don't use e-learning much, but it'll get to me as well, or you can use that information from your syllabus. Financial calculator, we'll talk more about this later, but this has some apps for using a financial calculator. That's all the stuff you're going to need all semester. All right, so that's the book. You have to buy the subscription to My Finance Lab. It doesn't really matter what physical text, if any, of the version you want. And again, you got an e-text here that comes automatically with access to the website. But you have to get access to the website because part of our class is this assignments, which is do homework, take a quiz. We have those every chapter, and you're going to need it. So I'll start part 3 of this in just a second.